Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be reviewing a new Ford Raptor with some really cool mods. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the National GMC here in American Fork, Utah for giving me some time with this truck. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions, just ask for David, and then I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 450 horsepower and then 510 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So you notice that this Raptor is finished in shelter green, really cool color you can get from the factory, and they actually painted the dome there in the center. It's all blacked out now, so it just looks a lot more high quality. And then you guys can see here the factory marker lights, and then notice the grill's been painted black as well. Again, gives it kind of like more high quality finish. And then right here it's normally plastic, they also painted that. And then you guys can see with the fog lights, and then notice that it's actually tinted on the marker lights. That's cool looking. And then they even painted the skid plate to match the shelter green and the bumper as well. So yeah, it has that cool uniform look. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 37 by 12.5 by 22 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see here with the wheels completely blacked out, and I've got these cool all-terrain tires. And it's got just a little bit of poke. It's not like an insane amount, but it does poke out a bit. And then you can see with the fender flare how that's body painted. We've got the tinted marker there. And then this, again, blacked out, which is cool looking. Still have the Raptor side steps, and then again with the fender flare here in the back, also blacked out with the truck. And then this is cool, look at the taillights, they've been tinted. Here's the side profile so you guys can see the stance and everything of the truck with those aftermarket wheels. And I just want to quickly show you guys the back end again with those tinted taillights, and then you can see this section right here. Yeah, that's so cool looking. And then you'll notice that, yes, it does in fact have bed liner. It's the one Ford F-150 that does have bed liner. And they even tinted that at the top. And then popping inside, this is just a loaded up F-150 Raptor. So you can see with the interior here, really cool looking seats. Perforated all down the center. This is cool. The trim there on the side. Got like the orange stitching on the steering wheel. You can see a little bit there with the American flag. And then nice trim on the dash. Then I'll quickly pop in so you can see full digital gauge cluster. Still got the paddle shifters here, Raptor style. Big infotainment system. We've got heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheel, dual zone climate. Got like a wireless phone charging pad as well. That's fun with the trim on the glove box. And then we got this for the window, power setting rear window. And then we've got a panoramic sunroof. So again, this is a loaded up Raptor. And so with that being said, what do you guys think about the looks of this? We'll take it out and see how it drives with the 22s. But yeah, let's pop onto the road. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility of the hood, and hoping you can see the heads-up display, both the mirrors. I do have blind spot. Let's turn that down a little bit. Throughout the rest of the rear, turn that down more. Let us set off in this Raptor with 22s. I think this is my first review of a modified, what people are calling the Gen 3.5, where it's, you know, still a Gen 3, but it's got some updates with it. Turning radius isn't horrible, but it's definitely not the best. You know, I don't normally show turning radius in videos, but I think, you know, with when you put bigger wheels and tires on a car, it's sometimes good to see. But then also note that I'm being cautious, right? Because I don't want to hit into any of the other vehicles. Man, this is pretty cool, comfortable seats. I love the leather Raptor seats. They're just always, they're so much more comfortable than the Alcantara bucket seats that you get in the, you can get in like the 37 package in the Raptor R. I just drove a 6x6 Gladiator before this. Shows you the cool inventory that National has, by the way. And this thing feels like a lightweight, nimble sports car in comparison. Like, that thing was so heavy and like so difficult to maneuver, and this thing I'm just like, it's cool, the difference. So with these tires you do get a little bit more road noise. It's the price you pay for looks. And then with the wheels, yeah, you get a little bit, whenever you go to a bigger wheel, you're always going to get a little bit more harshness with the ride quality, right? Because when you make contact with the ground, instead of making contact with air in the form of a tire, it's you know, it makes contact with less air and then, you know, more metal, depending on what the wheels are made out of, right? Could be steel, depends. But yeah, whenever you go for bigger wheels, smaller tires, well, it's still big tires, but less sidewall on the tires rather, it's always going to affect ride quality. Yeah, let me tell you, this ain't bad though. It's a pretty comfortable ride. The new Raptor is so luxurious, like really good sound insulation. It's just a nice drive overall. And EcoBoost does not struggle to move 37s at all. I mean, they obviously have a 37 package you can get from the factory with EcoBoost, but still worth, I think it's still worth mentioning. Ah! Tripod always decides to give up on life sometimes. This is a nice drive. See what the acceleration's like here. Yeah, again, it feels like a 37 package EcoBoost in terms of the acceleration. I'd never call it like a race truck by any means, but it's pretty good with the acceleration. It gets up and moves. It gets up and moves. So to sum things up with this truck, drives pretty well. I don't really feel like you concede much. You do concede a little bit, right? The ride quality is not quite as good if you had a 17-inch wheel and 37s. But, you know, some people, you gotta understand, some people like this look. Some people like the, I call it the bro dozer look, where the, you know, you've got a bit of negative offset. Is that more Teslas? Well, hey, look, it's more Teslas that nobody's gonna buy. Anyways, as I was saying, a little bit more negative offset, and you know, the bigger wheels, so you can have a kind of big fancy wheel to look at. Different, as I say, different strokes for different folks. But what I will say is the body painted stuff on this, I think that's just an objective win, because it looks so good. You know, with the new Bronco Raptor, they did, you know how they painted the fender flares with that from the factory. The problem with that, it looks good in some colors, but the problem is it still has a bunch of like plasticky parts. So it's like you have like a couple painted parts and the rest of it's plasticky. This, right, no stone unturned. They've painted everything, and so you can see what it looks like if it's done well. If you paint everything, and if you, it gives it a much cooler appearance, if you ask me. So let me know what you guys think about this, but I think with it being painted, I think that's a win. Even if you didn't like upgrade the tires, I think just painting the fender flares in a Raptor, painting the grill, painting the plastic parts, just makes it look so much cleaner. And then the 22s and everything, like I said, you do concede a little bit, but it's not too bad. And can I get up this in two-wheel drive? Probably. We got big enough tires we can just bump on over. Look at this. Boop. No problemo. And I didn't bump it quick enough. If I bump it quick enough, I don't have to go into four-wheel drive. If I don't pump it quick enough, then I do have to go in four-wheel drive, because we're on like little pebbles. Oh no, we're not. We're on the. Anyways, I'm gonna end the video. I'll figure this out. Have fun, guys.